Did you see what Sheryl Swoopes just did? She didn't just ignore Caitlin Clark's impact on the Indiana Fever. She flat out erased her from the conversation. But here's where it gets really interesting. Sue Bird stepped in with a reality check that's got the entire WNBA buzzing. Let's break down this clash of legends and see what it means for the future of the league. It's surprising, isn't it? Sue Bird, a legend in her own right, was quick to recognize Caitlin Clark's strength and potential even back in college. Bird's acknowledgement is no small praise, especially considering the level of competition and talent she's been surrounded by throughout her career. Clark, known for her remarkable playmaking abilities and leadership, has been nothing short of a game-changer since joining the WNBA. This makes Sheryl Swoopes' recent comments about the Indiana Fever's performance all the more perplexing. Swoopes, another icon of the game, praised the Fever's roster, highlighting their growth, teamwork, and resilience this season, but in an unexpected twist, she didn't even mention Clark, the rookie who has not only led the league in assists but has also been instrumental in turning the Fever's season around. Clark's vision on the court, her ability to elevate her teammates, and her clutch performances have made her a standout in the league. And it's almost unthinkable that someone of Swoopes' stature wouldn't acknowledge that. It's as if Swoopes was watching a completely different team or perhaps overlooked the undeniable impact Clark has had. Her omission is baffling, given how Clark has quickly become the heart of the Fever's resurgence, making it clear that she's not just another rookie, but a player with the potential to shape the future of the league. Even Stephen A. Smith wasn't happy about it. Do you realize that? Sheryl Swoopes, you're insane to do that. Let me tell you why you're insane to do that. Smith was clearly shocked, echoing what many fans were thinking. How could anyone miss Clark's impact? That's exactly what makes the situation so wild. The Fever has been on an incredible run, and Caitlin Clark is undeniably at the center of it all. Her dynamic playmaking and leadership have been crucial to their success, and she's quickly become the face of the franchise. Yet, despite her standout performances, Swoopes acted like she didn't even exist in her praise of the team. It's almost as if she went out of her way to ignore Clark's contributions, which is just baffling given her importance to the Fever's resurgence. Smith, clearly frustrated, didn't hold back either. You know basketball better than me, better than most of the men that play basketball. There is no way in hell you accidentally left Caitlin Clark's name out of that soliloquize. He continued, voicing what so many others were thinking. It's hard to believe that someone as knowledgeable and respected as Swoopes could overlook the impact Clark has had. Her omission feels deliberate, or at the very least, inexplicable, especially considering the spotlight Clark has earned through her performances. Clark's presence on the court is undeniable. She's been leading the league in assists, orchestrating the Fever's offense, and making clutch plays that have turned games in their favor. To leave her out of the conversation is not just an oversight, it's a disservice to everything she's accomplished in such a short time. Smith's frustration is shared by many, as it's clear that Clark's influence on the game deserves recognition, not silence. Here's where things get really interesting. Sue Bird is about to drop some serious truth bombs that are sure to shake up the entire WNBA. When Sue Bird speaks, the league listens. But this time, her words aren't just turning heads, they're flipping the script on Swoopes' silence in a way that no one saw coming. Bird didn't just acknowledge Caitlin Clark's impact. She went all in, highlighting how this rookie has single-handedly transformed the Indiana Fever. In her latest comments, Bird didn't mince words. She straight up declared that the Fever has become a team that nobody wants to face in the playoffs. Let that sink in for a second. A team that was struggling just last season is now striking fear into the hearts of their opponents. And Bird, with her legendary insight, is pointing the finger directly at Clark as the reason why. Clark's ability to elevate her team from being an underdog to a playoff threat is nothing short of remarkable. Bird's words are a stark contrast to Swoopes' surprising omission and send a clear message. Caitlin Clark is not just a rising star, she's a force that's already reshaping the league's landscape. Bird's statement is more than just praise, it's a challenge to anyone who still doubts Clark's influence. It's a call to recognize the rookie for what she is, a game-changer who's leading the Fever's resurgence and making them a team that could go deep into the playoffs. Bird's endorsement doesn't just validate Caitlin Clark's contributions, it highlights a glaring gap in Sheryl Swoopes' earlier commentary. The omission of Clark from Swoopes' praise was glaring enough, but with a legend like Sue Bird now openly acknowledging and celebrating Clark's impact, the silence around her becomes impossible to ignore. This shift in narrative could mark a significant turning point, not only in how Clark is perceived, but also in how her influence on the game is respected and acknowledged. But Bird didn't stop there. She took it a step further, noting how Clark is adapting to the physicality and intensity of the WNBA. she's definitely getting used to it. Which is, trouble for everybody else. Bird said. This statement underscores not just Clark's immediate impact, but also her potential to evolve and dominate as she becomes more acclimated to the league's demands. Clark's adjustment to the physical play and her ability to handle the pressure without losing her edge is a clear sign that she's not just surviving but thriving in the league. Bird's comments reveal that Clark's learning curve is translating into an even greater threat for opponents. The rookie who's already making waves is only going to get better, and that's something that's bound to trouble every team in the league. Clark is making waves and scaring even the legends of the game, and Bird isn't shy about pointing out just how significant that is. With Bird's high-profile endorsement and her candid remarks about Clark's potential, it's clear that Clark is not just a future star, but a current force to be reckoned with. You might be wondering, why does Bird's opinion matter so much? Well, it's not just an opinion, it's a reality check from a legend who's seen it all. Bird's words carry the weight of her WNBA championships and 13 All-Star selections. When she speaks, it's like the entire league leans in to listen. Bird's take isn't just praising Clark, it's also shining a spotlight on Swoopes' glaring omission. Without even mentioning Swoopes by name, Bird's statement is like a perfectly timed assist that sets up the question we're all thinking. How could Swoopes miss what's right in front of her? Think about it, we've got WNBA icons with completely different takes on the same player. On one side, Swoopes acts like Clark doesn't even exist. On the other, Bird's basically saying, open your eyes, this rookie is changing the game. It's not just a difference of opinion, it's like they're watching two different leagues. Swoopes did acknowledge other players, like Lexi Hall and Kelsey Mitchell, praising their performances. But how do you not mention Clark? If Indiana continues to play like this, they're going to move up in the standings, and a big part of that is because of Caitlin Clark. So, is Swoopes ignoring Clark because of her skin color? Comment your thoughts below. But let's be real, this isn't just about Clark. This clash between Bird and Swoopes is opening up a whole can of worms about how the old guard views the new wave of talent. Are some veterans threatened by these rookies shaking up the status quo? Or is there something else going on here? Swoopes went on to talk about records, saying, yes, records are made and set to be broken. But if you're going to break a record, this isn't just for Caitlin. But you asked me about Caitlin, if you're going to break a record. To me, it's got to be legitimate. You have to break that record in the same amount of time that the player set it. Bird's comments, meanwhile, aren't just making waves, they're causing a tsunami in the WNBA community. Fans, players, and analysts are all chiming in, taking sides in this clash of titans. It's Bird versus Swoopes, legend versus legend, in a battle over the future face of the league. But let's focus on what Clark's doing on the court. She's not just playing well for a rookie, she's dominating the entire league in assists. That's right, Clark's leading the WNBA in dimes, showing she's not just a scorer but a true floor general. And here's where it gets really interesting, Clark's not just putting up empty stats on a bad team. The Indiana Fever, once the league's punching bag, is now in playoff contention. You heard that right, a team that was struggling last season is now fighting for a postseason spot. And Clark's a big reason why. And let's not forget the Rookie of the Year race. Angel Reese was supposed to be Clark's biggest competition. But while Clark's fever is surging, Reese's Chicago Sky is struggling. In the WNBA, team success matters for individual awards. And right now, Clark's got a clear edge. Clark's impact isn't just about numbers on a stat sheet, she's changing the game off the court. 2. She's selling out arenas, boosting TV ratings, and bringing new fans to the WNBA. It's like she's got a magic touch that turns everything she's involved in into must-see TV. Clark's rookie season isn't just impressive, it's potentially historic. We could be watching the birth of a new era in women's basketball. An era where the WNBA isn't just a niche league, but a major player in the sports world, where women's basketball stars are household names, commanding the same respect and attention as their male counterparts. But here's the million-dollar question, is the WNBA ready for this change? Are they prepared to embrace this new generation of talent and use it to catapult the league to new heights? Or will they play it safe, sticking to the old ways and potentially missing out on a golden opportunity? So, what's the deal? Is Swoopes just being stubborn? Or does she have a point? Here's the thing, Clark's not just playing well, she's changing the game. She's leading in assists, turning the Fever into contenders, and bringing new fans to the WNBA. The debate about whether to go crazy for these emerging stars or to temper our expectations is crucial. The way we handle this conversation could shape the future of the league and influence how new talent is nurtured and celebrated. It's vital to continue talking about these players, not just to recognize their current achievements but to set the stage for what's to come. So let's keep the conversation going and highlight why women's basketball is the most exciting sport today. For more insights, subscribe to WNBA Zone 69 and stay updated.